Hello, today I wanted to introduce you to our final signature project for our system administration class. For this final project, you are going to be expected to install and configure the following. I need you to create a Linux server without the graphical user interface configured with Samba and Apache. Then you're going to create a group just for developers, populated with at least 3 users. I know it says a few users, but I'm going to get more specific and say at least 3. I need you to change the default web path for Apache to a directory shared by Samba. I want you to allow the developers of the group to write to the share and then give read access to the others. I need you to be sure that you're using the most recent version of Samba and Apache, and you'll have a chance to show me which versions you've decided to use. Then, from the Windows client, I want you to have a mapped network drive to the share on the Linux server. I'm looking for an access shared folder, and I'm looking that you create a few web pages from that shared folder, and display web pages through a web browser so that when you type it in, it shows your web pages. Make sure that the software is up to date and the firewall is properly configured. Okay, so let's take a look at how this is going to be graded by looking at the rubric a little closer. The first screenshot, this is going to be a series of screenshots, is going to be a login screen without the GUI display. That'll earn you 5 points if that's done accurately. Then I need you to show the developer group and users. Make sure that you've created the developers group and that you've populated it with at least 3 users. Then I'll be looking that you share directory listing of your shared Apache directory showing the proper permissions. Now, the permissions we're looking for are read, write, execute, read, write, execute, and then finally read, execute. Please be specific there with those file permissions. Then make sure that the developers group is a group owner. Next, please display the HTTPD configuration file showing the new document root settings. Then please display the SMB configuration file with your configuration. Hopefully it'll show the global settings section with the correct settings, the share section that has the correct settings, and no access setting included for 2 more points. Moving along, please display which version of Samba you're using and which version of Apache that you're running. Then I'll be looking to see if you have a correct or successful connection with the created file, with the index.html file. When you type in your unique web page, it should prompt a picture to show up saying whatever you've configured as part of your index.html file. Finally, the Windows Server portion. The Server Manager showing the server properties configured properly. I'm looking to see the Server Manager window showing the new system with the new computer name. Make sure you change that. Make sure you change the time zone to accurately reflect our own time zone, which is Eastern Time. A developers group property window showing at least 3 users in the developers group. Again, this seems a little redundant because you just did it in Linux, but now you're doing it in Windows Server. Then the Server Manager showing the shares page. Then we need the NTFS permissions for the shared folder, showing that the developers group has modified permissions and everybody else's permissions are set to default. Then I need you to show the share permission for the share folder. The developers group will have full control permissions and no other permissions besides the everyone group. Getting towards the end here, I need to check your Internet Information Services Manager showing the default website basic settings. So we're looking for the physical path that points to the local shared directory. I'm also looking to see that the Windows client shows successful connection and a created file. And then finally, I'm looking to see your unique web page displayed again with however you've populated that index.html file. That's your choice of what you've put in there that's going to display on this sample web page. If you just follow through the rubric and make sure that you have screenshots for each component, you should be very successful. If you have questions about anything with this final signature project, please don't hesitate to reach out to me either in person or via email. I'm always happy to help.